Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of RFD Television, I give you Trish Lynn and the All American Cowgirl Chicks.
I could stand here and do it all day.
It's scary. It's stuff that's tabooed, you know, to most people that come to rodeos. And
rodeo's a sport, we know that. But you have to have a show, and voila, All American Cowgirl Chicks put on the show.
Come on, girls, let's ride.
Usually our horses run about 35 to 40 miles an hour.
It's dangerous, and these ladies will take some chances tonight.
This is reality television here.
It'll be interesting. We'll get up close and personal.
Don't look at my feet. Don't. And that's one thing that I'm really proud of RFD TV is they stand behind the youth and they want them to be strong Americans, and it starts with rodeo.
God bless America and our heroes tonight.
I think your hat is very smart.
I like your hat.
You like it?
That's a good hat.
It's a little small for me. I might grow into it.
Yeah, I know. It looks like you work hard, though.
You came all the way from England.
Just to see you. Yeah.
No way!
Yeah. They said they're going to be here at Breakfast. I said, where's Breakfast?
No way.
We
You're
found
really
it.
serious?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Where did you see us before?
We saw you on the internet.
That is awesome.
On YouTube.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Of course you can.
That's awesome.
They can.
Like, you're going to make me cry.
No,
That's really cool.
no. It's lovely to see you. It's
awesome.
lovely to see you.
No, this guy came from England to see us.
Just to see you.
And this hat's awesome.
Yeah.
Can I keep it?
You can keep it if you want to.
I wouldn't do that. But that's really cool.
There you are.
We're honoring the American soldiers tonight.
Jack Zimmerman. He wears the combat infantry blue badge.
And there's 3 of them that are going to be here at the performance at New Braunfels. And we're going to be giving a special tribute to the military in their honor, as well as the fallen soldiers.
We'll talk about the soldiers and what they've done in Afghanistan.
And doing great things like this, you know, it's worth living for, you know, and that's why we fight.
That's one thing that I love about Charlie Throckmorton. He is a great spokesperson in that area.
Heroes here did not lose limbs. They gave limbs for their country. Isn't it great to live in a free country? God bless America and our heroes tonight. I'd like you to meet them individually.
I actually had the privilege of watching JW from an audience point of view. And wow, I mean, I can't tell you enough of how much he impressed me, and I couldn't take my eyes off of him because of his ability. I actually didn't get to see him trick ride, but knew his 60-year veteran career in that was phenomenal. Seeing him trick rope was, you know, unreal. If you think you're good at trick riding and trick roping now, I'm going to tell you, if you watch just a few of this man's reel of tapes, it's phenomenal. You know, they didn't have a rodeo arena. They had horse racetracks, so they did straightaways. I mean, the footing on the dirt was basically concrete, and they went 100 miles an hour. He's just a wonderful person to be in the same presence, and such a rodeo legend, and Cowgirl Chicks are very lucky to carry this torch on.
Sadie, the young lady that's horseback tonight on the Roman riding team, a couple of years ago was involved in a trick riding accident in Lindale, Texas. It left her being drugged around the arena, almost drugged to death. Well, after many doctor visits, she began to heal up, but she still said, "Mom, something ain't right." The doctors did more research, and they diagnosed her with a rare form of breast cancer. She didn't say, "Well, but I have this deal that I'm going to have to fight my whole life called cancer." She said, "Get me some horses gathered up. I got some stuff to settle. I got some people I want to encourage." Every time they ride into the arena, they want people to be aware that there may be some wicked stuff out there that tries to take your life. But you got to be tougher, you got to be more willing, and you got to believe it to achieve it, and then you can do it. Ladies and gentlemen, the Cowgirl Chicks.
There's a very personal and special meaning behind the Ride of Ty. That's actually what formed the All American Cowgirl Chicks. After the devastation of the news of this young boy with a rare form of cancer in the jaw, the girls went and practiced and actually put out their first performance in order to raise money for this family. I was good friends with Kim, his mom. She's known as one of the best horse farriers in Weatherford, Parker County, Texas.
Actually, it was a tumor in my sinus cavity.
Right.
And the first time around, it started growing out to where you could visibly see that I had a tumor in there, and went through chemotherapy about 10 months when I was 6 and 7 years old, and we thought that the tumor was gone. I went into remission, and 2 years later it came back. It actually started growing in deeper, and I never could visibly tell it was there, but with MRI scans and all that stuff, you know, it was growing, and chemotherapy actually wasn't working. So inevitably, we had to have surgery.
Right.
Now it was 8 years ago and some odd months, and I've been clean ever since.
Whenever we found out what was going wrong with Ty, we did everything we could to make as much money as possible. And then it gave us a reason to ride and a purpose to ride. And so be around him as a motivation for me and a big inspiration to me. And I definitely want to show that to everybody in the world. Let them know no matter what happens, don't let anybody tell you you can't, because you can. And Ty's a perfect example. Playing football, baseball, anything you ask him to do, he's like, yeah, that'd be fun. He never says, no, I don't think I'll do that.
Y'all have known each other for a long time.
Yeah.
So, is she crazy?
Oh yeah. She wouldn't be my friend if she wasn't crazy. No, I remember the times we had when we were young, before everything we just mentioned happened, you know, and the way she been there with her mom and trying to, you know, help me get through this.
One thing that Ty and I have, think above anybody that I am friends with, is we've never lost that, you know, friendship we had from when we were little kids. We might have been little, you know, you have friendships from when you're a little kid and you grow up and you're like, oh yeah, I hung out with him when I was a baby and we ran over the hay bales and put our lollipops in the horse troughs type of thing, you know. But, you know, it's, and that's true, but we've never lost that. And I think that's one thing. And whenever I was going through my stuff, you know, he's the first person I called on, not because of anything else, but because that, you know, I told him, hey, this is going on. And he never said one negative thing, saying, well, you know, this is going to be hard going in he never said that. He said, you'll get through it. Don't worry about it. Just stay positive, and your family will always be there for you, and I'll be there for you. And that was the best advice anybody could give me. It wasn't that, man, that stuff's tough, you know. It was just, it helped push me forward and helped me not get a negative attitude about it. And what we want to do is to show everybody else that it's not just because something's happened here and you aren't, just never lose that bond between you and anybody.
The charity work that we do with the Cowgirl Chicks has totally snowballed from 16 years of experience with giving back to different organizations. Cancer was where we started. We have a lot of fans that come here to Brenham, Texas. Specifically, we've made relationships with cancer victims that are a huge fan of the Brenham, Texas Rodeo, the Washington County Fair.
Cowgirl Chicks, I love you, and so does Quincy Lindstetter.
Quincy and his wife, they came to see the Cowgirl Chicks 5 years ago and were inspired of our charity work. Unfortunately, his wife lost her life with a long battle of cancer last year, but Quincy, after 7 years, this is 7th year returning, his grandson brought him in a wheelchair, and the gentleman was on the front row to watch the girls' performance, and he lit up, and that's what's so great about our job. And this gentleman is a very special man, and we're so proud to have him as a guest tonight. Catherine Sellers is Virgil Sellers' daughter. Catherine was diagnosed with melanoma cancer when she was in her early 20s.
She has her days. She has her good days and her bad days. So we definitely enjoy going to see her.
While we're here in Brenham, some of the girls are going to gather up and get our practice done early and head to the hospital to be with her and to encourage her to not lose the fight.
If you can think it, if you can believe it, you can achieve it. And that's exactly what they do. They ride for a cause, they ride for a purpose, but they also ride to encourage those who are fighting cancer. So tonight, they ride in honor of Catherine Sellers Smith. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to the prettiest girls in the Lone Star State. They are All Americans indeed, the All American Cowgirl Chicks.
This is the moment we've all been waiting for.
You can do it.
Today, we've got two special guests, our trick riding coach, J.W. Stoker.
Flip that knee over.
And legendary hero, not only in the football world, but the rodeo industry as well, Mr. Walt Garrison.
People don't understand the athleticism
that it takes to be a trick rider. You know, they have to have strength, they have to have agility, they have to have balance, and they have to have determination, and because they practice a lot.
We try to ride every day.
Let go on the back side if you can, Hattie.
Let go, Hat. Yeah. Good.
Okay. Good job.
All right.
You're gonna join the Cowgirl Chicks. I would tell you to hold on really tight because it's gonna be a rough ride.
And you thought bulldogging was tough, huh?
It's not a sport for sissies.
Well, it takes a person that's got some nerve, wants to get ahead, and wants to please people.
I'm fixing to do it again, Trish. Oh, God.
It's a crowd pleaser, you know. The crowd always likes the girls and likes the trick riding.
The All American Cowgirl Chicks, along with all of Steve Smith's crew and a lot of rodeo announcers, a lot of great rodeo clowns, come together and volunteer their time for the families of Snowball Express.
They're expecting about 1,700 families, or actually people here, escorting these children that have lost their moms and dads to the war. And it's something that we're so grateful to be a part of, because as many rodeos as we've done, you know, every time we ride in honor of our military and in memory of one of our fallen soldiers. And so, you know, it hits home to us every weekend. You know, we are grateful to live in this country that we call the United States of America. We love the red, white, and blue. We're very honored to hold our American flag and very proud to fly it because of these brave soldiers that have fought for our freedom. So it is something that we wouldn't have missed, and to reach out to these kids, that their parents were very brave for what they did and for serving our country. And we need to be respectful towards one another and to be appreciative of what we have. And so that's what this event is all about, is to be appreciative of what those soldiers fought for us and gave us our freedom.
Thank you for giving the youth and for giving these families today something to look at a sport that's so great to be a part of. The night prior before Rose Parade, you have to be in the trailer, your horses have to be saddled, they have to be clean, you have to be dressed, and you have to be ready to go. Once you're fed into the parade, it's about a 3-hour parade ride.
You get butterflies, it's just crazy, and the people, and they're yelling, and you can see all the announcers in these booths talking about you, and the cameras are just in and out on you.
The parade is finally over when you see that person holding up that sign. You have 2 more miles, and we're like, oh my God, we have 2 more miles. But from beginning to end, from that 3-hour period, there are so many people that are screaming and so happy to see us.
I'm doing what I love. I'm glad I wasn't short-sighted with giving everything I had to my music and the Cowgirl Chicks. It's been worth every tear and struggle. I appreciate who we are and how we got here. Hi, I'm Trish Lynn with the All American Cowgirl Chicks here at Billy Bob's, Texas, with the leading lady in rodeo today, Miss Pam Minnick. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us today.
It's always good to be with you. You know, I admire you.
Well, we admire you. You actually are one of our heroes in the rodeo industry. We look up to you not only for your professionalism, but just for the contribution that you've given to the sport of rodeo.
Thanks.
You're a class act, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about today, is your rodeo career. How did you get started to even be in Miss Rodeo America? You were Miss Rodeo America.
Right. Well, I got my first horse when I was 9. My parents, neither one of them even rode. But they supported what I wanted to do, and I think you find that a lot in your All American Cowgirl Chicks. The parents play such an important part in that.
They do.
And as a youngster, I wasn't content to just ride my horse in the backyard. I wanted to compete, and I started going to junior rodeos, high school rodeos, became the high school champion barrel racer in my state, which was Nevada. So I entered Miss Eldorado and I won. 3 months later, I won Miss Rodeo Nevada, and 3 months after that, I won Miss Rodeo America.
What you see on film is actually very, very real. You're going to see all of our mistakes and mishaps, which, you know, that's probably kind of giving you a sneak peek of a world that I really don't like to let anybody in on. But then again, I want you to see the reality of how dangerous it is.
My mindset is just grit your teeth, hold on as long as you can, and just do it. That's mainly what I do, is just calm myself down and say, you can do it, just hang on. It'll be over in a second.
It is cool what we do, but when you're sitting in the audience and you see this fast horse and this girl that's daring and has a lot of guts on horseback smiling go by, it looks like a lot of fun, but they don't really understand the behind the scenes, and the behind the scenes is danger. The training and the horses and just some of the wrecks that, you know, we might get ourselves into, then it's all of a sudden not so fun for everybody and they don't want to do it anymore. You know, if you see NASCAR, if you see pro football, if you see anybody in the professional end of what they do, they take a risk, and that might be risking their life. You know, rodeo is America's most extreme sport, because they are putting their life on horseback or on bulls that are very rank, that, you know, I mean, I have to express of how much I and the Cowgirl Chicks have respect for the cowboys and cowgirls, because very rarely are rodeos canceled, and so we're out to do a job, and they're some of the most toughest people I've ever been around, you know, in some of the situations that happen and the situations that we're put into that are very dangerous. They are very tough, and they gut it out, and they just pull up their sleeves, and they do the best that they can. But it is very dangerous. I mean, the bull riding, you know, you can get killed. You know, those guys risk their lives every time they perform the bronc riding. The live action that goes into a performance on the cowboy, cowgirl, and the livestock part of it, yes, it's fun to watch, but it also can be very devastating to see if someone gets hurt. So, you know, that is a reality of what we do. The trick riding is very dangerous. The horses that we ride, you know, yeah, they could be very seasoned in a lot of areas, but for one reason, one day they're off, and when they're off, and you can get really hurt. We love this lifestyle. We love being with our rodeo friends, but most of all, we are truly thankful for you fans. So thank y'all so much for hanging in there with us. Don't miss the next show on the All American Cowgirl Chicks with RFD TV.